I have always found discussions on right and wrong uncomfortable. When listening to such discussions, I often thought they lacked a clear foundation. People talk past each other, with leaps of logic being made without clear explanation. Morality, ethics, principles, justice, philosophy, religion, preference and prejudice. These words and the ideas they represent are interwoven with one another, and discussions involving them usually use them in different ways. What follows is my attempt to present what I hope is a rational model for some of these words. My hope and intent is to describe a simple model which will act as a solid foundation on which my future videos can build. The following model organises various terms in a linear order, with the theory being that awareness of foundational feelings is followed by a compulsion to articulate them into new words. That the presence of these words and the ideas they represent then leads to awareness of other feelings, which in turn are articulated and produce further new feelings and ideas. This theory posits that the various words we use to describe our ideas of belief reflects a natural quality of human thought, and that understanding the relationship between these words can enable a better understanding of how we form our beliefs. A brief outline of the model. Our senses form a bedrock, our sentiments a foundation. Principles are pillars. With enough principles, morals arise. Ethics emerge to refine one's morals and their structure. The atmosphere experienced when inhabiting such a structure creates one's aesthetics. Senses. Sight, smell, taste, touch, hot and cold, rough and smooth, bright and dark, boredom, excitement, attraction, revulsion. Our senses and emotions are how we become aware of ourselves and our world. They are the foundation on which all of our experiences are built. Sentiments. Opinions, prejudices, and preferences. Our reactions to what we feel. Our first attempts to articulate our feelings into words, describing how we feel about what we feel. I prefer this to that to this. I like this and dislike that. Our intuitions and our contemplations on our past senses and the experiences they created are how we arrive at our sentiments. In attempting to articulate and rationalize our feelings, we both discover and manifest our sentiments. Principles. Over time, our sentiments become more structured. We begin to recognize patterns in what we prefer and dislike. This intuition leads to principles, instructions for acting and thinking to ensure we shape our environment to align with the conclusions of our sentiments. To either create, encourage, or protect those circumstances our sentiments prefer, or to destroy, change, or prevent those circumstances our sentiments do not prefer. Etymologically, principle means that which comes first. Etymological contradictions to this model aside, principles arise when we organize a single or a group of sentiments into a cogent position or practice. Morals. The practice and system whereby we arrange our various principles into a unified structure. The arrangement of our principles with respect to their significance in relationship to each other forms one's moral structure. To use an example, this model would describe one of Moses' 10 commandments as a principle, while all 10 commandments, if practiced together, might form a moral structure. Where a single principle might provide instruction toward a particular proactive action or reactive response, a moral system would provide direction across a broad area of scenarios. The collection of principles one subscribes to constitutes one's morality. Actions which are in accordance with one's morality are considered moral, and those which contradict or undermine one's moral system are judged immoral. While individuals may shape their morals across their lifetime, cultures undergo a similar process, with traditions emerging from shared principles refined by considered discussion and generations of trial and error. Ethics. The practice and theory of maintaining and refining morals. Or put another way, how to resolve the discordance in thought resulting from incompatible imperatives of different principles within a single moral structure. Ethics is preoccupied with the arrangement of principles within a moral system. Which principles are more important and which are less important? Which principles can be bent or broken while others left inviolate? While morality defines a system of values, ethics is the discipline of applying them, navigating conflicts between principles, and ensuring a cohesion in reason and action across them. Ethics shows us how to remain within our morals, how to be moral, and how to not be immoral. Aesthetics. If sentiments are the result of our exposure to the natural world, aesthetics are those sensations which are the result of our habitation within our moral world. Once a moral structure is built, and one inhabits it, aesthetic taste emerges metasenses. Just as normal sensations inform us how to avoid harm in the natural world, associating bad smells with toxic food and nice flavours with calorie-dense and nutritious food, aesthetics informs us of the health and hazards of our moral world. Aesthetic intuition informs one of phenomena which threatens the integrity of one's morals. It provides insight into the validity and virtue of actions, ideas, and creations for both oneself and those of others within one's common societal moral structure. In summary, with the former now described, I believe that the discomfort I earlier alluded to is now more easily approachable. I believe that my discomfort from hearing discussions on right and wrong arises when positions of different moral tradition are attempting to discuss higher level beliefs when they have fundamentally different foundational beliefs. I believe that comparing the validity and virtues of one belief system over another meaningfully requires examining the structures that shaped them, not just the conclusions they reach. Taking a different path leads to a different destination. Different inputs will produce different outputs. The beliefs one starts with will shape the conclusions one arrives at. Each of our lives, the specific time into which each of us was born, our culture, history, and the circumstances unique to each of us contribute to forming our beliefs. While this may not be a novel insight, I hope that this model provides a practical structure for categorizing some of the disagreements that arise during discussions on belief. If we aim for dignified, prosperous, and harmonious lives, communication is key. In this series, I'll outline the philosophy which has shaped my understanding of these values. If you found this interesting, please like, subscribe, and comment below. I look forward to reading your feedback